said, why wouldn't you just go and try? He said, why should I try? I said, why wouldn't you just go and try? He said, why should I try? I said, why wouldn't you just go and try? Go and try.
All right, y'all, what's up? This is the Beyond Sunday podcast. This is my boy James Field, and today he will be sharing his testimony. He's going to be telling us how he came to Christ. JJ, introduce yourself.
How y'all doing today? My name is JJ. Um, Went to Penn State, Great Allegheny with Kiya, and played on the hoop team. So uh, back then in my life, I pretty much was the start of my gambling career. I was introduced to that in college, and I've seen the highs, I've seen the lows of it, but most recently I've seen the lows, and I've just always found myself like in this cycle of always having to like re-up and like just restart my life. It's like I'll be up one day, then I'll get greedy, and then I'll keep going, lose money, have money, and it just was an endless cycle. And it just was kind of, for me, it was just like I felt like I don't really have a way out. And I've tried to take a break. I've tried to delete the apps. I've tried all of those things. They have not working for me. So recently, earlier this year, I had a conversation with one of my friends, Jason, and he basically was just like telling me his testimony with like gambling and how he um just like sacrificed his like life to Christ and just put it down, put the gambling down, and just got more invested into the word and everything, and just basically just telling me all the sacrifices that like he's just been making and stuff, and it's just like, dang, like this is really like a person just like me. So earlier this year, I want to say January 1st, it was like the first time I've been to church in like years. So ever since January 1st, I've been going to church every Sunday. If I can't make it like in person, then I go like online, watch it online. But after that talk I had with him, it just changed my whole like perception on like everything. And that was February 11th. And then I just say like my faith has just like grown um like extreme. And I've started like reading the Bible more. Every day since the February 11th, I've been reading the Bible. I've been watching more sermons, and actually like going to church and like hearing the message, like what they're actually like saying to me. Cause like when I was like growing up too, I used to like go to church and stuff, but like I went to church with like no purpose, and I didn't really take like anything from it. And like now it's like I need help, and um I feel like for me it's helped me because since I've went this route, I've joined like a men's group on Mondays. So it's like 30 guys, and we all just like talk about like our struggles and stuff that we like go through, and they're very like supportive, like non-judgmental and stuff like that. Um, so like that's like something that like you need when you try to like overcome something, I feel like. And for me, um, it's just like made me shy away from like doing it. And like I have again like recently like deleted the apps and everything too, and stuff like that. But like I said, like it's just a difference. Like actually for me, like reading like the Bible and just seeing like all the sacrifices that Jesus had to take for like everybody, it almost feels like I'm cheating him if I'm like invested in this and then like doing the other thing like on the back end, like not taking it seriously. So um I haven't yet, but I plan to getting baptized soon, to just like get like a fresh start. But ever since, like I said, I've just had like my walk and everything. My mind is like more clear, not like less like cloudy every day. Like my mind literally was like wrapped around like the books all day long, like from the moment I wake up to like the moment I go to sleep. And it just was just taking over me. And like now I feel like free. Now I feel like comfortable. I can like breathe and not have to like worry about like too much stuff. So yeah, I feel like better overall as a being, but yeah, it's been a journey. Been a journey.
So like whenever you get into these moments, like have ever since you've been in and you've been staying strong, like have there been a chance where it's been like super difficult, like even with the groups and you know what I'm saying, reading the Bible, waking up to your sermons, has it still been super difficult? Like you just want to go back?
So I'm gonna be 100% honest with you. Since I had, like I told you, when I had that talk and I like opened the Bible on February 11th, um, I want to say like 2 days after that talk I had with him, I did place another bet, and then probably a couple days after that, and then I went like 2 weeks strong. That might not sound like a progress, or that might not sound like a long time for some people, but like for somebody that does it literally every single day, like I'm talking about like don't miss a day, to that, like that's growth, and that was hard for me. And like I said, I started like feeling like, why am I even like doing this? I felt like guilty of doing it, and just like hiding behind it, and it just didn't like feel right at all. So I mean, like now, when I do like feel like temptation or anything, I just pick up my Bible and just, well, I Google certain scriptures on like temptation, and then I read them. And one of the guys that I met from the group that I'm in on Monday, I just like get on the phone with him and like tell him like how I'm feeling like in the moment, and then we just like pray together, and he just be like breaking down these verses to me, and they mean these scriptures to me and everything, like basically like what everything like means and how you should like try to fight the urge to do that and everything. So really, it's just like for me, like now it's just like reading the word and fulfilling my day with like watching sermons and stuff. It just keeps my mind like off of that, and I just fulfill my day with the word more so like just being invested in the book. So that's how I just kind of get away from the temptation. Like when I do feel tempted, like all right, turn the sermon on, lock in, like watch this, or like go read something. Go read something. Like you don't have to like pick your phone up and do all that other stuff. So that's kind of what I've been doing.
And that's what's up, Jay. Like, so another question I got for you is like, what does being a Christian mean to you in this very, especially in this era of a lot of people like they are coming to Christ, but a lot of people, you know, they're like, man, you know, that's for the, you know, that's for the birds. I ain't really getting into that. But I mean, like in this era, and it's not a cool thing to do. You know, people's like, yeah, you just, you know what I'm saying. It looks different to people. So
Yeah.
like, you know what I'm saying. So what does being a Christian mean to you in this era?
So I can only speak for myself. I can only speak for myself in our generation. I can't speak for the others in their generation, but um, for myself, I have noticed like a change in my behavior. I've noticed change overall, just like how I treat people, and you can piggyback off of this. Like I never treated nobody like bad ever since you know me. Like I always been 100%, but like everybody and
Yeah,
been
you
like,
always been cool.
yeah. So it's just been like I just been trying to just like live by the right thing. But I will say this, with like our generation and everything, there is a lot of temptation, like with Instagram. It's a lot of like influence on a lot of things in the world. But people in our generation they don't really have the knowledge or really like know like what's really going on. Like if you like read the word and then you like really analyze like what's going on in the world, like, it's a lot of bad energy. It's a lot of just like bad things going on in the world, and it's like people get so invested in like social media, and it's just so much more to life than that. And but yeah, like I said, I mean, but like being a Christian to me, it just means like, and I'm gonna be honest, like I don't want to say like I live my life 100% like to the Bible. Like I would be lying to you. I don't, but I try to in certain aspects, in certain ways. I do try to change my life, and it hasn't been that many like months, but it's a work in progress every day for me. So I mean, like I said, whenever I learn something and I read something, I just try to take it for what it is and then apply it to my life, whatever that may be. Recently, just found out about like zodiac signs and stuff. I didn't like know that that was like worshiping like the devil and it's like demonic. And I have a whole like Aries tattoo on my chest. Like I didn't know that like at the time. But like now, like it's just like I don't even know why I did that. But yeah, I mean, so like I said, for me, just being a Christian, is just learning every day, um, just having that foundation for myself and keeping my same routine and just getting my faith stronger every day. So that's what I would say for that.
So for like the tattoo and stuff, because like I get what you mean when it comes to the signs and all that stuff. Because sometimes even I could fall into that trap whenever I'm hanging around certain people and they're like, oh, I'm this and no, I'm not, and then they ask me what I am, and sometimes because it's became like second nature, I respond with a little bit like a little easy. I'll be like, I'm this. And I'm like, I don't even go by that. You know what I'm saying? I'll be like, I really don't go by that. It's kind of like I kind of like second guess myself whenever I say it. But then
Right,
like at the same time, it's kind of hard in the sense where I'm like, okay, you want to get into it with people where you want to be like, well, that's not really good for us in this time, but it's super hard because everybody's not they to people it's just a zodiac sign.
yeah,
You know what I'm
and
saying?
I actually got into it like probably like 40 hours ago with like one of my siblings about that. And I basically was just like telling her, like, I'm not saying that you like worship the devil or anything. I was never saying it like that, but I'm just letting you know the knowledge that I've learned and just sharing it with you. Like, it's not good to like praise it. That's all I was saying. Like I said, I feel like when it comes to religion and politics and anything in life, you can't necessarily like force that on anybody. Like, whatever somebody want to believe, that's on them. If they don't want to believe in the Lord Jesus Christ, whatever they want, that's on them. If they want to live life a different way, that's on them. You can't force anybody to do anything. It's really only for yourself. As long as you know what you're doing is the right thing, you got the word behind it to back you up. You're doing the right thing. So
And that's a word because yeah, a lot of them will hit you with the but it's in the Bible. I'm like, God talks about the stars and the planets. It very like not it's not very in depth. Like it's not something where he's like he got a whole chapter on it. I'm like, nah, he brings it up because that's what he did in his time and
yeah.
in that time. I said, so that's not what it is. But like when it comes to your tattoo, what do you feel like your next step is? Like, do you feel like you're going, cover it up, take it off?
So since, like I said, since I found out about that, I prayed to God about it for forgiveness for this tattoo. I don't want to get it removed, but if it comes to a point when I necessarily feel like, oh, I can't like do this, I had to get it removed, then I'll do that. But right now, I don't think like I don't have any like plans to do that because, like I said, I was unaware at the time when I got it, and it's like I don't go around being like, oh, like Aries this, Aries that. Like I'm not like still like praising that. Like now that I have the knowledge of it, so it's like I could get it removed, but it's like I don't know. I don't know.
No, I feel you because that's how I feel. I got a tattoo.
It's not like a small tattoo. Like it's like
It's
huge. Like
huge.
my whole everything. Like everything.
It's just huge. Yeah. So
Yeah.
it'll take a lot of to get that
Yeah.
different, and a lot of planning to put the right thing on your body to, what I'm saying, to cover it up, which is
Right.
understandable because I got a tattoo on my arm here, and spiritually I don't think people understand like tattoos aren't really necessarily a sin, but at the same time it's like it's about what you put on a body that becomes the sin. It's what you worship, and when you put it like it's certain things that you put on your body that becomes the sin. So if you
Right.
worship in Mario Karts and that's the only thing you do all your life and you idolizing it and then you put it on your body, that becomes a spiritual connection and a covenant with it, which people don't understand. So I got somebody on my arm that is a passed away relative, and I feel like spiritually, you know what I'm saying, some things that attach with that person can, when like demons start to manifest or stuff and start to do all that, I think like some of that stuff plays a part. So I know after I get this removed and covered up, I said, if anybody pass away, what I'm saying, I'm never getting like a type of memorial on my arm for them. You know what I'm saying? And that's
Right.
me. Hmm.
Wait, so what does it mean if you get something like
It's
something
not.
in
It's not. It's not for everybody, right? Because like you might have one and it plays no part to you. You know what I'm saying? But I think because of me, because of like as in like the person that it was and what came behind it, some things I
uh
can see it affect. Yeah, like some things I can see it affecting my life, and I'm like, this can only be from that.
yeah, like I got. I mean, it's actually crazy because my first tattoo was Jeremiah 29. That was like my very first tattoo, like right here. And then I got the stairway into the scripture. So the stairway was into the scripture from my mother when she passed away. So you know the stairway of heaven. I got the stairway going into the scripture, and then I got the date and then her name right there. But I mean, I don't like I said, but I was like hearing what you were saying. That's why I was like asking you about that.
Yeah,
Cause
no, yeah, no. For you, it might be different. You know what I'm saying? For you, it might be like this is really a memorial. For me, I was young, not understanding God,
yeah,
and I feel like the connection of what it was and what's happening, demonically can, you know what I'm saying, play its part. So for everybody, in that sense, it's not the same, for sure. But yeah, tattoos and all that stuff, like I don't really make a big, you know what I'm saying. God don't really make
yeah,
a big deal out of it. I don't really make
yeah.
a big deal out of stuff. So like, what does your like prayer life look like now?
So I can actually share some things with you. I got oh, I should show you that.
I
So
actually remember the first day you got that. You got that in college. I remember the first day you came with that tat.
no, I just got this.
No,
I
no,
just
no,
got
your tat. I
my
remember
tattoo.
that tat. Yeah.
So for me, let me show you this real quick. Let me flip the camera here. Um, uh, so this was just like some of the things I just wrote. So I said, I pray that in 2025 I overcome my addiction of gambling. I pray that in 2025 I become an electrician. I pray that in 2025 I make better decisions with my money. And I said, I pray that in 2025 I'm a better man than Chloe. That's my girlfriend. And these were the dates that I like wrote that. And I've never like really like prayed. And it was all kind of like new to me. So like I started from like just writing it out, and this was like just some of the things like in my like thoughts that I like was just writing. And then so right here, this is like the first day like I started like reading the Bible, and then like every day since I just read every day. And then but now um I kind of have like more like wisdom on just like praying and stuff. So my prayer life, I mean, it's getting like easier for me. Like at first, like I said, like I didn't know how to do it, but now I'm just. It's just like I said, it's just like a repetition with me. It's like you just keep doing something like over and over, and then you just get like kind of like used to it and stuff. But I'll be like writing like y'all said it with you too. I'll be writing in my taking notes from like all the scriptures and I mean the sermons that I'll be like watching and stuff like that. And then sometimes I pray in here too, like right here. I recently just had a I had a interview, not an interview, a test on for an electrician test, and that was something that I prayed on in February, and I knew that I was gonna like get the test, but I wasn't supposed to get the test until like I want to say like June, maybe July, and then like 2 months after, like I said that prayer, like they sent me an email like, oh yeah, you got a test in April. I was like, oh, I gotta. This was the opportunity that I was like asking for. Like a lot of people think like when you say a prayer, if you don't get it answered in the first day, the first week, the first month, first year, like God don't hear you. Like God hears you. It might just not be your season at that time. I've asked God. I never asked God specifically for like more money or anything like that. I just more so asked God of like just make my situation better. Like can I just asked God for like, can I get one job to where I can pay all my bills and not have to work three jobs? I'm working three jobs right now, 7 days a week, like over 80 hours. Like I'm working every day, like to exhaustion. And it's just like I'm just asking God for the opportunity, and the rest gonna take care of itself. So that's what I did. I asked for an opportunity. He gave me that opportunity. Studied them 3 long weeks after I got the email saying that one of my tests was. I just had my test yesterday. I think I did really good on it. I'm gonna be honest. I really did. I feel real confident leaving that test. The math part was kind of shaky, but the reading part was like, all right. I know. Well, I think I did decent in the math, but I think the reading part will overlap the math to make it evenly to the point where I know that I passed it. So I do feel good like leaving that. So, yeah, like I said, I've been praying on it. I claimed it already. So I'm just waiting to hear back from the news. But they told me that I probably won't hear back from them for like a month. That is kind of crazy for some like test results. But just gotta be patient. So just keep doing what I'm doing, keep grinding, and then if it's meant to be, I'll get that email. So we'll see.
Yeah, and like coming into to college and us growing so much because we were babies in college. You know what I'm saying? We weren't
Yeah.
thinking about stuff like this. How do
Hmm.
you think you are different from a college, like the man you are now, from who you was in college to now? Like, how do you think that evolved once God been came into your life?
Um, I grew up in all aspects. Like I lived life however I wanted to in college. Excuse me. I did like whatever I wanted to do, and I didn't really. I wasn't like getting like in trouble or anything, but like I just didn't like. I wasn't living right as a whole in college. Like I was like having fun doing all this and that, but now it's just like after graduation and everything, like I like really had to buckle down on my responsibilities, and then it all like ties back into this. Then I was like getting real heavy into gambling and like winning like a lot of money, like the most money like I ever won in my life. It was like a good and bad thing for me. Like I've seen like a lot of money off of it, had it, lost it, felt dumb, felt all the above, and just kind of like, and then during that process, like putting myself in debt, and just like the reason why I have to work so hard now is because of the decisions that I made back in the day. Like I wish back in the day, like I did try to go to find Jesus Christ um, at that time, but I didn't. But again, it's a learning. I learned from it and I've grown from it. So, I mean, it's a learning process for me for real. But I feel like over time, like you don't go through things for no reason. Like you might go through some people go through really tough and difficult times early on in their life just because that like God got better plans for you like in the future like and that literally is like my tattoo, give you plans for hope in the future. And I got that like years ago, and it's just like wild to me like how everything is like just sprung back now, and it's just like there is hope. Like you don't have to let this like overcome like your body, overtake like your decision making. Like it's bigger than that. And that's what I just had to like come to the realization of. Like the world don't revolve around money. It don't revolve around a lot of things. But yeah, I think for me it's just like just the growing up and going through the bad to understand like you can't do that. Like you gotta chill out and learn from your mistakes. I'm grateful that I did go through those life lessons for real, for the things that I did have to go through. Definitely shaped me for sure.
Yeah, and that's fact, Jay. Cause you know what I'm saying. Like you said, you've never been no bad person, never in my life. You always like back then. You was just full of energy. You know what I'm saying, and you always been like JJ to me. So it's never been nothing crazy. And to see you evolve, like I think I was I'm telling you, like I pay attention. Like a lot of people don't pay attention to what people post, but I think
Yeah.
a couple months ago I started like you started posting like little things like about God, and I was going like I just kept peeping it, and then the one day that I text you, I was sitting there, I was like, well, when did JJ, like when did he get into this? And I was like, well, let me go take a leap of faith and go ask them. You know what I'm saying? Because me and you,
Mm,
we haven't really talked in a minute. Like we do like here and
yeah,
there conversations. I
yeah,
think actually the last thing me and you did talk about probably was putting in a bet. I'm gonna be completely honest.
probably,
That was probably the
probably,
last thing we talked about.
yeah,
And to see you, you know what I'm saying. When I took that paper, and I said, let me talk to JJ because I had this, I had this. I'm gonna be completely honest. When I had Beyond Sunday, I didn't know how I wanted to go about it. And which is funny, is because whenever you start talking about your testimony, you actually gave me the idea to make Beyond Sunday about sharing testimonies
yeah.
because
That's
of
God.
yours. And I was like, whoa. I was like, that's powerful. You know what I'm saying? Because even when you were sharing your testimony, I was reading, and God was working on me, like in so many ways. Like it was so many things, so many emotions that was going through my body at that moment, and I couldn't really figure it out. But I was just like, that's what Beyond Sunday can be about. People coming on here and talking about their testimonies. You know what I'm saying? So you truly, your testimony gave me the idea to make that baby have be birthed in this
Yeah,
situation. You know, so it's
yeah,
like in today's time, it's good to see my brothers and sisters coming to Christ. Especially you, JJ, seriously, because you got your energy is full. So it's like you'll be the perfect person to be out there on, what I'm saying, doing what you do, you leading the youth, because what I'm saying, you got a voice for the youth. So it's good to see that you're coming to this type of lifestyle because it
yeah,
feels good. So in this
yeah,
time of being in this lifestyle, have you felt peace?
yeah.
Peace.
From that 2 week break that I told you, like for me, like taking that break of not betting, yes, I felt free. I felt like I could breathe. My mind didn't feel like clouded up. I wasn't like just like stressing about like how am I going to like pay this bill. Like I, I just wasn't like stressing about stuff like that. Like I was just like, it's in God's hands. Like everything's going to work out. Like don't stress about things that you can't control as long as you know that you putting in hours at work for the things that you physically can control, the money and everything that you have coming in, and now you're not doing the um bad things like with your money and just spending it like it's not worth anything. Everything's gonna take care of itself. So I was just being more responsible with it. So yeah.
So, like, being into, like, now that we're back on that topic for real, was there a certain situation where you was like, this is becoming a problem? Like, this is getting crazy. Like, when did you really, really, truly, like, truly, deeply realize, like, this is getting out of hand?
When I won all that money, when I won all that, cause like it started from like me just making like little $1, $5 tickets, like on the basketball team, like $5 tickets. Then it started to be like 20, 50. Then when I really started making money, like 100 and like 200, 3, 4, 5. Like once it started to get to that, I'm like I'm couldn't stop. Like I couldn't. Like even if I like ride, I just couldn't. And that's just me being 100% honest. And like I was saying, like going through that high of like seeing what I got from it all, and then like losing it only made it worse. And me, it just once I lost it, I just had to get it back, and I never felt like good to the point where I'm like enjoying like gambling. Like I don't feel like gambling as a whole is like bad. Like it should be like something like fun, like you do every once in a while. Like yeah, if you got a little bit extra money, you want to go have fun, cool. But like when you doing it to like pay bills and you're doing it to like eat and stuff like that, like then like all right, you really gotta like stop. And it got to that point. Definitely got to that point with me. And yeah, and it was, I would say, like I said, it was around that time when I won all that money. That's when I kind of realized that, and it was just like I just found myself in that cycle of like working so much. I had one job, then I got two jobs, then I got three, and it was just a cycle of just like paying off debt. Still wasn't enough money, and now I'm just like, all right, well, I really needed like find like a realistic change, and that's what I did. And now my life is gradually getting better. About to move again. My lease is about to be out, so I'm about to move again. Hopefully, about to start this new career. It's a like a 4 or 5 year program, but it's a career. I'm not just working every year for like minimum wage or like whatever, and then like the next year just keep working and like wasting years. Like I'm working for a purpose now, so that's good. So I'm trying to get rid of the bad me and fulfill it with the good me, and I'm getting rewarded slowly, but it's I see it, and it's things that I like I said, things that I prayed about early on, and it's a process, and I'm enjoying the process from it because I know where I was and I know how I felt them nights when I was losing that money, just not feeling good. Like I remember all of them feelings. Who was there for me? Who wasn't there for me? Stuff like that. Like I remember all of that stuff. So like I said, it's just like you gotta go through sometimes you gotta go through life. Like you gotta hit rock bottom to really learn. Some people that's not it don't apply to everybody though. Some people got life figured out and that's fine. I'm not down talking to anybody like that, but some people don't. Some people gotta go through some once, twice, maybe three times to really like, all right, to learn from it. I know I did. I can only speak for myself, but this change that I've or this approach that I've taken to overcome this is working. Definitely working. So
So in the time for you saying, because you said, I knew who was there for me, I knew who wasn't, and if this is too personal, like I said, you don't ever gotta answer it. But like in your relationship with Chloe, is your girlfriend's name, I believe, right?
yeah,
Did you like your gambling addiction? Did it hinder your relationship?
100%.
You want to tell us a
We
little bit about it?
uh we we got into a lot of fights about that, and me just kind of like defending the books over her feelings. Cause at first it was like I'm too invested in it, like with our time. So then I started to like not let it interfere with our time. Then it became to me just like spend like unnecessary like money, and now like her like saying like, oh, well, you don't got no money for this, like what are you like doing with your money, and me just like her like finding out the way of where like the money was going. Then that just led to like arguments and stuff like that, and then it just got to the point where it's just like, all right, like you really gonna have to like lock in, or like I can't do this, it's too like stressful for me. So yeah, we definitely had like a lot of up and down battles with that. But we had some talks and we've like grown on the situation. So we had a good place right now with that and everything. She knows my plans for everything. So yeah, we've been doing better with that. But yeah, definitely the old me wasn't definitely was like arguments for that for sure. Not even just for two, like my family too, for real. Like them like lending me money and stuff like that, like not using the money for the right thing and stuff like that. Then getting talked about like in my family from other family members, like what are you really using your money for? Stuff like that. So yeah, like it wasn't just her; it was like everybody, a lot of close people in my relationship. But I will say this: um, my just like my like how I like my like circle, I'll say like it kind of changed a little bit since I've started. Like my faith has gotten a little bit stronger. Um, it's changed a little bit, but I'm not mad at that. At the end of the day, the people that want to be in your life, they're gonna be there for you, whether you right or you wrong. But I'm a person where if you can have a conversation with me and we can talk something out, hash it out, and keep it pushing. If you want to continue that, then let's do that. But if not, that's cool too. And as I've gotten older, I've never like now. I'm not. I don't like. I'm not begging anybody to be in my life. If you don't want to be in my life, by all means, go ahead. You removed for a reason, so it is what it is. So yeah,
And that's fair, and you know what I'm saying. When you come talk about the friendship part, I feel the same. You know what I'm saying. I'm the type of person like if we can't conversate about it and we can't talk about it, especially getting into God. Like getting into God been super difficult to continue on carrying certain friendships because it's just like at a point in time I'm gonna need every single friend. Like whenever you know what I'm saying something, the old person pass away and a new one is born. I'm gonna need them to understand that like it's done, you
yeah,
know. And when it's done, it's done. There's no going back. Because I said, just like in a say when you was friends and I told you that I wasn't going to do nothing anymore. I very much rather keep my word for that. And I do the same thing with God. Like if I tell God I'm done with something, I'm done. Now I have fallen short, and man,
yeah,
I mean the shame that I took on for falling short for doing something was a lot. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? So I just I don't think people understand like you in these times you really need godly friends.
yeah. That's why I said since everything since I've been tapped in, I've joined like a group. I was in two groups. It was on. It was a group Sunday, no Saturday morning. But I work on the weekends now, so I can't like make that time no more. But like when I'm like off on the weekend, I will go. But I had to just get something that works for my schedule. On Mondays, I'm in a group at the church, and it's great. Like I said, it's a group full of like 30 men and supportive, non-judgmental, and we talk about real life things, and we talk about the word, and we talk about real life situations and stuff like that. And it's a good community, real good community. So,
And
uh,
now that you came to Christ, who is somebody that brought you like whenever you just what made you just be like God is the answer to this? Like what did you wake up and be like I'm gonna go to church, or did you wake up and meet somebody? Like how did that happen? How did that interaction go?
so it was. I'll say it was like a little. It was like different areas. So the first area, I just was like having like a talk with one of my friends, just about like going to church and everything. He was like, "Why don't you like come to my church like one Sunday, just see if you like it. If you don't got to come back." I was like, "All right." So I went January 1st. I liked it. Went again the next week, and then the next week I had work, so I've been watching online, and then I was in a basketball league at that time, and then we're all actually friends. Like the guy that took me to that church, he's actually friends with one of the guys that was on the basketball team. And that talk that me and him had after the game, it just made like it just that day like changed me. And then I just became like so like invested in learning, and like I was like interested in learning. I was interested in like reading about. I was interested in just like getting more like wisdom for everything, and like not getting bored by it at all. Like I could watch sermons and not get bored by it. Some people be like, "Oh, I'm not watching this right now. I don't feel like watching this." Like I can watch a sermon any time of the day and like watch it and write my notes down, like I showed you earlier. Like, and it's cool. Like I like it because you learn something, and it's literally like they're speaking right to you. Like the messages that I just be getting from the sermons I be hearing is just like y'all really like talking straight to me, and I relate. That's why it's interesting, and that's why I'm like invested in it because like I relate to this, and this is like what I need to hear, and it's proof backing that up. So it's good.
When you started to talk about sermons, I actually have another testimony for you. I was in some cases like I would definitely, you know what I'm saying? I'll go to church. If I'm not in church, I'll watch it on I'll basically watch it on like you said the YouTube stuff, and I'll,
Mm-hmm.
you know, focus in on that. But like you said something that that day that you shared your testimony with me that you do every day when you wake up and it changed your life, and you said I wake up and I start my day off with a sermon. JJ, ever since that day I talked to you, I started my day off with a sermon. I
Yeah,
promise you I did. Like, you don't understand. Like, your testimony really did help me, because I was like, all right, you know what I'm saying? Because, like, a lot of people tell you to read the Bible when you wake up, and I'm like, okay, I can do that. Pray, okay, I can do that. But then it's just like, you were just like, I just watch a sermon. You probably throw some prayer in there too. But it's just like, at the same time, like, when you said that, I was like, let me just get up and do that instead of listening to secular music when I'm on my way to work. Let me turn on a church service and see what they, you know what I'm saying, do something different. And I try to, ever
yeah,
since that day I talked to you, I have not, ever since I got into my car to
yeah.
go to work, I've been listening to a church sermon.
Uh, That's good. Yeah, I think for me it's just like I said, like when I talked to him, when him had that talk, I just wanted to do like everything right then and there, and it was just like I didn't really know where to start. Like when it came to reading the Bible, I didn't really know where to start, and like I was just like, all right, well, I'm just gonna follow the Bible plan that this book gave me. And actually, in our group, in my men's group, we actually were like talking about that, and he was kind of he was like talk like the guy that's in charge of it. He wasn't like throwing shade at me, but I kind of was like, oh, like I feel like this. He was like, I don't really think it's like that effective if people do like um Bible reading plans, because it's just like you just read it and check the list and don't take anything from it. With me, I like read it. I'll read something and just keep rereading until I really understand it. And that is true though. And I was like telling him too, like I definitely like agree with you. Like there are some days where like I read and I don't know like what I'm reading at all. And I'm just like, this does not make sense to me. And I'll check it off for that day. But there are some things like, and this is another thing that they were saying, like it's just some days like you read the word or like you hear a sermon and it just don't hit. It just don't hit that day, and it's just like it's not gonna hit every day. But you gotta find ways within yourself to like figure out like what does this really mean? Okay, I really understand it now, and that like kind of like having that discussion with them kind of did like help my approach when it did come to that. Because then I was like, all right, well, I can maybe like focus in on like one section instead of trying to get like the four, because it's like four different like sections that you can like choose from like every day. But I read all of them. But like with the terms and stuff, like it started from I don't know if you know who this is. His name is Jerry Flowers. I watch him.
I was just about to ask you, tell me, give me, like, give us a list of people that you watch on a daily
I
basis.
watch well I like Philip Mitchell. I watch him. I watch Jerry Flowers. My pastor, Pastor Stephen Chandler at Union Church. So I watched them three, and Joel Esteen, the white guy. I watch him too. He got some good ones on there. So yeah, them three. I mean them four. But I think
Steven
that you would
Chandler,
like
what church was he at again?
Union Church. That's the church that I go to. You would like that church a lot. I'm not gonna lie, you would like that church because
Yeah, I'm gonna go
he
tap into his sermons. I'm writing them down too.
yeah he's like I like remember how earlier we was talking about like our like we was talking about like our like generation or our what was you saying? It was
Like, it's hard for generations to come and
yeah,
understand
our
or.
generation. He
Mm-hmm.
speaks to our generation. So it's very, very relatable. Like the way how he talks and how he says certain things. So yeah, he's good. I like him too.
Yeah, because as like right now, you said Anthony Philip Mitchell. That's my dude, and
Yeah, I like him a lot.
like in the time, every sermon that I have watched since the day that I talked to you was his sermon. I actually, whenever I turn on Sunday service, his service is the service that I'm watching. Um,
Yeah.
he really speaks to us, and he don't hold back what he say. Like, I feel like in this
Yeah.
time of being a pastor, it's super hard for them to, like, so many people is trying not to offend, you know what I'm saying, people. So it's just like, I
Yeah.
mean, when pastors give it to them, like, they straight raw dog, and they give it to them straight. I enjoy that about a pastor because no matter who's in the building, you know what I'm saying, I still gotta give you the word. So
Yeah.
Anthony
I'm
Phillip Mitchell
trying
is
to
my top tier.
I'm trying to find this one guy that I watched too.
But even with Anthony, like like you said, some sermons don't hit. So it's just like I'd be like, I need somebody else to, not that I need somebody else, but it's like I need somebody else to kind of get more sermons into. So I'm trying to connect myself with different pastors or apostles or whatever they may be, and that,
Yeah.
you know what I'm
I,
saying.
I just sent you somebody else too. I
That's a
like him.
bet.
He's good too. He actually, the guy that I just sent you, it was actually like kind of like, it's just like so mind blowing. Like when you like go through life a certain way and then you start to see things like as your faith, as your like, not like as your faith, like as your journey just like continues to go on. Um, the guy that I just sent you, he actually said, have a spiritual growth plan, and he had 9 things on there. So the first thing was read your Bible. That's something that I've been doing. The second thing was keep your heart from offense. I didn't. I need to work on that. From like basically when like people say things to you that like you take it to heart, like you should like work on that as a person. That's some things I need to work on. 3, this is what you was telling me. You was like, have you been like, do you like praying in tongues? That. 4, memorize Bible verses. 5, practice fasting. 6, start tithing. 7, join a small group. 8, take the next step in the discipleship track. And 9, share your faith. So those were some.
AJ, you really putting in work.
Yeah, yeah. Those were some of the things that that guy said, and it's like I'm already doing like a couple of them, and it's just like I don't know. It's something that I can still like improve on for real. So yeah, it's good.
You said the word purpose, and even like whenever I messaged you and I was talking to you, I didn't want to kind of turn it the situation into an interview then. So when you said purpose, do you feel like you know what your calling is?
Mm, not 100% yet, but I know that I have a lot of good people around me and a lot of good energy around me, and it's a work in progress. I will say that. Yeah.
That's facts. That's facts. And hearing your testimony, seriously, I'm telling you, like when I see people coming into Christ, because there's some days where I'll my whole Instagram story would be just about God. And I can, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes I can hear the enemy like, don't nobody want to hear that stuff. Like, that ain't
Yeah.
cool. You feel me?
Yep.
And I start taking stuff down, but then at the same time, like I used to take it down. Now I would like, God is watching me. God know everything that I'm doing. I said, I'm not taking that down. I said, I'm not taking that down. You muted right now.
Okay. Can you hear me now? Yeah, I was saying, people's opinion when it comes to that, like I was saying like earlier, like it's just levels to the faith, like, and I'm not saying mine is the strongest, but I know like right from wrong, to a sense, and I mean I'm always like down to like learn something new. Like we here to like use each other and just like learn from our experiences and just help each other like with some of the things that we know for real. So
Yeah, and that's facts. And in this time, I think, especially seeing brothers and sisters come to Christ, I do my little dance because I be like, yo, like, this is different. Like, I really feel like it's different. Because, like, somebody said, I was watching, before I came on here with you, I was watching a video, and somebody said, like, you got to be willing to look crazy for Christ. Like, you got to be okay to understand that I might look crazy to them because this is foreign to them. But to me, I know
Humiliated.
what I'm
You gotta
doing.
be humiliated sometimes. Like God wants you to be humiliated. Like that's actually wow. I wrote something down like that. I think it's in here. Uh, yeah. Father, purge me out of all pride and arrogance. I want to be an aroma, not a stench. Clothe me in humility in Jesus' name.
Amen to that. And that's your words or is that a scripture?
Yeah. Well, I was reading a sermon and they like said that and I like wrote it down, like hearing them say that. But yeah,
That is straight heat right there. Like the Bible got heaties. No matter
yeah, they
what
do.
nobody say, the Bible got some heat. And you just gotta go. You gotta go in there and get it. I'm telling you. So in this time period, like, you know what I'm saying, like, do you one day want to go full blown, full out straight ministry?
Like what I be in,
Like
like be.
everything comes, like your money come from ministry. Like you're full blown in it.
I feel like for me, I definitely want to get like more like investing with like tithing and stuff like that. I think I can get like strong. Well, I feel like I said, it's like my walk with faith and like my like significant other too. Is like I'm gonna just let's honestly, I want to like talk to you about this. How do you feel about the whole wait until marriage to like do any like have sex with your like partner? Like and like for our generation, that's like hard to do. And I'm just being honest. I'm just being honest. It's hard to do.
Jay, you just choked me up with that one because this is God. I just know this is God. I honestly, I had just asked somebody about that because you know what I told you I'm trying to overcome. I said, well, what happens if you know what I'm saying? That happens. Am I bad? Am I this? And they was like, I don't. They was like, I don't think it's no consequence to it fully. You know what I'm saying? It's just that whenever you are laying down with whatever person it is, that gotta you gotta know like y'all both gotta have the same goals. Y'all gotta both know why y'all in this. You know what I'm saying? Are y'all in this because y'all are being lustful? Or are y'all in this because you know what I'm saying? What's the outcome of what y'all are doing now? If you 100%, you know what I'm saying, love this person, you know marriage is in the picture. They was like there's nothing fully wrong with it. Of course we want to go by the Bible and say yes, we want to do it, and if you can't handle it, wait until marriage, because some people can but some
Yeah,
people don't. So I just think that I don't think that hinders a relationship with you and a person at all. I don't think that has much to do with it. I just think it's about how deep you is to me. Like it's like some people I know people in church that's 70, 65 years old, and the last time they dated a man was 18. I said, girl, I said, bye. I said, I ain't doing that. Like I said, you got that one. I said, I'm not, and it's not even be about the sexual activity. It's just I'm a person that want to have that type of relationship. I want to be loved. I want to be. I want to have marriage. I want to have kids. You know. So it's about. I think it's about how you want to go about it. But I don't
yeah,
think God hinders us from having, I think they call it
yeah.
premarital sex.
I think I'm not sure,
Yeah, I
but
think that's what they
that's
call
another
it.
thing too. Like times changed from like back in the day. Like it's not the same. Like it's just not. Life is just like not the same. Like as a whole. And like for me, it's like I don't know. But I will say this: one of my friends, the one that I was had the basketball game, and he was telling me, um, he been going strong. Like he like proposed to his girl, his fiance now, and all that. Like he been going strong, and that's tough. Like I commend him. Like that's tough, bro. I don't know if I could do that.
I think it's levels. And I think also, about you know what I'm saying, about that, doing it before marriage and stuff like that. I also think it's about what the demon is that's, keeping you bound. So if you know in the back of your head that lust is one of your biggest challenges, yeah, you shouldn't be doing that before marriage. You know what
Yeah,
I'm saying? Now, if you really is barely dealing with lust, I mean, and it's like here and there situations, cool. But it's like if what lust is keeping you bound, don't, because
Right.
that's, you know what I'm saying. That
Yeah.
now you're not just doing anything but soul ties and all the other stuff. But if
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying, and it's just like you said, it's just really like the dude. He's going strong, and right now I think there's probably a reason why God is like not putting on your heart to, be married or anything like that, because he wants all of you, Jay. So he's like,
Yeah.
give me you first, and then we'll work on the rest.
Yeah.
You feel me?
And like I said, like when we was talking about it earlier, like I'm seeing changes within myself slowly but surely, and it's like it might not seem like that to some people, but like I see it. I definitely see it for myself, and I feel it. So yeah.
So do you feel like, because in this podcast, I definitely will have people ask me questions. What's some questions that you feel like you want to ask me in this situation right now? If you have any, if you don't, that's fine too.
Wait, if I wanted to ask a question,
Like, ask, you can ask the question, you can ask any question you want to ask me.
or like what would be like a question I would ask like someone if you was about to interview them?
No, like, say, like, if you got a question for me, like, about everything and about my journey, like, if you feel like you got any questions to me.
Um, yeah, I do got a question. Um, what do you do when, so like you were saying, it's like levels to the faith. When you talk to somebody that like has like more like faith in you or like more like knowledge about more things than you, do you have like, have you ever felt like certain people might put you on like a pedestal, like, oh, you're not like holy enough to like believe in like Jesus or anything like that? Like, do you ever like feel like that? 'Cause, I felt like that like a couple of times, but the church I go to isn't like that. But like other churches that I went to, like back when I was like younger, like that, they like felt like that. Like I got that energy like as a youngin', for real. But like, what do you like do when you like get like in that approach for like somebody or something like that or that situation?
Well, I feel like for me, I kind of wear my sin, if you know what I mean. And when people can see your sin, um, they look at you and be like, who are you to talk? Like, look at
Right.
how you're dressed. Basically, let's put it like that. Look at how you're dressed. Look at what you like. People. I had situations where I've been in church and people will be like, "Oh yeah, like we know what you got going on." See, I,
Right.
I just think that's the problem in today's. And I talked to somebody about this too. I think there's a problem in a lot of churches today and this is why a lot of people are being pushed away from the churches, because some everybody don't wear their sin. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like, if getting down and dirty over there on a corner, and you know what I'm saying, nobody can see that. So
Hmm.
you can come to the church, be the holiest person in the world, and don't know that. I just think when people start getting into that, oh, you're not holy enough. Let me tell you, God left the 99. That's what I think about. He left the 99 for one, and that one was not saved. That
Yeah.
one was not trained. That one was not ordained. These people, these disciples that was in there, that was trained up to do exactly what God wanted them to do. And God
Yeah.
said, "Y'all are not equipped enough to me. It's not what I'm looking for." He went and searched the earth for the one person that wasn't. They like, this person is not. They what? They're not saved. They're not nothing. They don't know your name. None of this, and changed
Yeah.
that person's whole life. So that's how I look at it.
Yeah.
He left the 99.
That's good.
You feel me? That's how
Yeah.
I look at it. But I do feel like people look up and down at people who, because they're not
Some
this.
people definitely do that. And I don't like that because it's like you. Who are you to judge somebody? Like who are you? Like
And that's
you're not above
facts.
you're not above him. So how do you think you above me? Because um, I just like I said,
It get rocky.
I just try to I just try to treat everyone with respect and just do the right thing. I just don't believe in like doing people like cruddy and stuff like that. I don't got time for that.
And JJ, that's what God is going to use on you as your heart. You feel me? Like that's what he's going to use it to lead people like me and you in. Like I'm telling you, it's really about the heart, and I think that's what not even just church, the people are missing
Yeah, a
in
lot of people don't got
worldwise.
it at all.
Yeah, like the
People don't.
heart is lacking. Somebody can make 10 mistakes, 10,000 mistakes. I don't want to be your friend no more because you just you just don't get it. And sometimes it's the right thing to move away from a person because they're not doing the right thing or they're not fitting your growth. But like that's how it is. You know, parents be sick of their kids, kick them out, get rid of them, and be like, "Yeah, I can't do it no more." But in the Bible, it's just you gotta keep forgiving, in a
Yeah,
sense. You know what I'm saying? Because
yeah,
sometimes don't be a fool. God will always
yeah,
tell you,
yeah,
"Don't be
yeah.
a fool."
Yeah. Huh.
Feel me?
Okay. Yep. That's good. Yeah.
Yeah. So
It's just it's just good like hearing that stuff. 'Cause, like I'll be like I said, I'll be writing a lot of stuff down, like a lot of stuff down. I wanted to share one more thing.
okay.
Um, oh, here, go right here. I literally just wrote this the other day. If we confess our sins, He is faithful and just and will forgive us for our sins and purify us from all unrighteousness. Kind of like what we're talking about right now.
Let me ask
Yeah.
you a question.
hmm
How do you take um how do you deal with forgiveness?
Um. So I've got bad things done to me before, but you know me, like you know who I am as a person. I don't really hold grudges. Like I said, like if I can like get to the point where like I can like have a conversation with you, yeah, I might be like mad in the moment, but I might get to a point like, all right, like we can have a talk and then squash it out. Then it is what it is. But I don't like holding grudges because it's like unless somebody did something like very, very, very unforgivable, like like did something bad to like my family members or like they weren't here anymore because of them. Even still though, like I don't know.
I get what you're saying. It's
Yeah,
the
it,
brutal
I
of
just,
it.
I
Like
just, I just, I don't know. Like I take my time that I need for myself to really analyze it, and then when it's time, say what I gotta say. They say what they gotta say, and then we just move past it, and then it just kind of like life just kind of just like goes on for real. So I mean, I've never been the type to like hold like grudges or like anything like that. Like yeah, like you might have did something in my life that like I just didn't like or was disrespectful. I didn't like agree with, but that don't mean that like I won't like give you, like a second like chance to like show me that like this isn't really who you are. But like if somebody just keep doing the same thing to you, then like maybe it's just best that y'all just go y'all separate ways in that standpoint. So like I said, like if people like remember I was telling you like earlier, like if people get removed from your life, it's like for a reason. And right now, like you shouldn't be like trying to like keep somebody in your life to try to like walk away. Like if they want to keep like walking away, like let them learn. But then don't try to like come back when you see like it ain't what you thought it was on the other side. Don't come back. So, but yeah, that's kind of what I do.
yeah, and I got one more question for you because you was talking. You know, you said something about fasting. How do you go about fasting? And how is that hard for you?
So me and my girlfriend actually, well, her dad is Catholic, and they do Lent. That's not a Christian thing, and so they we like both made a like a fast of like going not eating fried food, and I was like, all right, well I'm gonna try that. So that was like my fast, like not eating fried food, and feel like with just like everything I got like going on, and just trying to like do like different things in my life, just to like go away from what I was like used to. But that's like one of the things I can just think off the top of my head, like fasting. It was that, like the fried food. So that's just like kind of like right now what I've been like doing for real with that.
And how long did you go with not eating fried food?
It was it was sometime in March. It's been a couple weeks. It's been a couple
Oh, so
weeks.
you're still
Thank you.
on it. You're still on it right
Yeah.
now.
So it's kind of like I'm kind of doing what they do for Lent, but I'm just making it like kind of in my way. Um, but I think it's supposed to be done like Easter, something like that. So
I think that's a smart. I think what you're doing is smart and how you handling it. That's 100%
yeah,
smart. I
yeah,
think the longest I fast was 2 weeks. It was just straight water.
yeah.
Ever since that
I've been
day,
drinking water too.
bro, and that's when I was just getting into God. And when I
Hmm.
was fasting for them 2 weeks, it was just a liter. Like I had a liter of water. If I got hungry, or if I felt hungry, I would just drink it. You know what I'm saying? Not all of it, but like I'll just take a sip or something. But like ever since that day and them 2 weeks that I went, it's like it's hard. It's harder now, and I don't know if it's because it's like now I know why I'm really doing it. Because back then it was just like, okay, I'm gonna lose some weight or I'm gonna put down a couple pounds or something. I'm gonna just fast, put it into a fast. But
Right.
now I feel like the enemy knows that I know that like if I go into a fast, it's a godly fast. So it's been
Yeah.
terribly hard. Like I think the longest I went without food and it was just water was when Anthony Michael Phillips did a fast. He put him on for a fast for a week until Sunday, the next church service. I think I made it to like Thursday, Friday, and that
Mm.
was terribly hard. It was hard. But at the same time, I got something out of it. Like that was the first time that I actually started. Not the first time, but that was like the first in depth time where I started to realize, like, yo, God talks to me because I got this book, and I'll just write down all these names of the people. He just start throwing names at me. Pray for this person. Pray for this. That's all I heard in my head was pray for this person. Pray for that person. Put their name down. This is why you need to pray for this person. This is why you need to pray for that person. Sometimes it was about 10 people who he didn't tell me why I needed to pray for them until I started praying for them. He started giving me things, mental
Yeah.
health, abuse. You know what I'm saying? He started doing that. So like, how do God talk to you in general? Like, is it do your dreams, mindset?
Uh, so I don't have like dreams about anything. I say for me and just like with certain people, certain things just be like going on in my day, and like sometimes I just be like in the right place at the right time, or like I'll like have like a thought of like sometimes like people just like creep in my mind, and I just know like it was like one day, it was like actually kind of recent, and it was like with my dad, and I literally got off work, and I was like on my way home, but I didn't go like the way that I normally go home. I went like a different way. I don't know why, but I went a different way, and then I like go up the street. I see this truck up there, and it looked like my dad's car, and I'm like, I know this is not him. Drive up, it's him, and like he was like drunk in his car, like windows down. I'm like what are you like doing? And like he was like on the phone with somebody, and I'm like come on, like you gotta like leave before like something like happened. Like what if anybody could have rode up on him, but it just had to be me? Like it, like that was destined for me to be in that moment. Like a cop could have ran up on him, a random person could have ran up on him, did anything to him. Like he was drunk, like he wasn't good. But I was just grateful that like I was there for that time, for real. And it's just like that was like a moment, like oh yeah, like this happened for a reason. And another thing too, I'm gonna kind of get like a little bit deep, but I'll keep it like kind of brief. So when my mom passed away, I actually was the last person that she was with. Um, and recently this year, no, last year. My cat that I had since I was like 6 years old, Brandy. I don't know if you remember my cat. If I ever like showed you my cat, Brandy, but she passed away too. And I literally was like with her as well, like in my arms. Like I was like, but nobody was at my house, and I was the only one to come to my house that day. And I like was like seeing my cat. She just wasn't like looking right at all, and she looked like she was like going through it. And I'm like panting, like breathing like a dog. Like cats aren't supposed to like breathe with their tongues out. And I called the vet and everything like that. He's like, yeah, just like you gotta like take it to the hospital. Like that's not good. Take it to the hospital. On the way to the hospital, like in my lap, like got the video and everything. That like tore me up, and it's just like, why do the close people like in my life? Why am I like the last person that like I had that memory with? Like, is it because then like other people in my family can like handle that pain, or like what? Like why? Why does it keep happening to me? So that is something that like I don't know. I will say that.
I can kind of give you a word toward it because I kind of got a similar situation. It's just not more like in person. I can
Mhm.
sense death, like I can sense it. So I remember I was it was like a couple times. It was a few times. I remember one day my grandma passed away. She passed away on Christmas, and I remember
Mhm.
for a week straight something. It was like I get super lazy. I get super tired. My body gets super weary when it start to happen. But I kept saying to myself like somebody gonna pass away on Christmas. Like I was like it was like somebody was it was like a warning. It was telling me it kept saying it was just like something you know what I'm saying. And back then I you know what I'm saying I was like it's just what it you know what I'm saying I don't know. I remember the day that I woke up on Christmas, the first message that I seen was my brother said grandma passed away, and it was on Christmas. I remember another time my cousin had you know got hurt and he got deceased. And I remember like I want to say it was like 3 days. For 3 days I kept saying something's about to happen, somebody's about to like something's bad about to happen, but I always say it to myself and I can feel it. It's like God's telling me like something's happening, you know what I'm saying, something's about to happen, and I'm just preparing you for it. And then 3 days later my cousin passed away. And it happened a few times. And I think in those moments, I think like somebody had said something to me was like, because you didn't know and nobody taught you, you were supposed to probably either pray for their transition or you were supposed to pray the that away from them. You know what I'm saying? And in those situations of each of those times that you were in, 9 out of 10, but because we're so young, we're not really taught all this. Like we don't know. I think you are the one that's going to bring your family to salvation. You are the one that's going to be the reason why your family look at you and see your testimony and see the person that you're going to be in a few years or whatever years it is. They're going to look at you and say, I want to be just like JJ. I want to give my life to God. I want to do this. And your whole family is going to bring their life. Some people's not. But for the most part, the people that you want and you want to, see in heaven, they're going to look at you and see it change. So I
Yeah,
think we are ordained for this. That's
I
the
agree.
reason why. That's our, you know what I'm saying? So it's funny
Yeah,
that you said that because I'm like, Dag, I know that situation.
yeah,
You feel me? So it's just like, I honestly, like, I just think that God made us special. And they say He whispered in our ear. And the Bible literally says, He said, I whisper in your ear and I tell you who you're going to be. I know you who you're going to be already. It's already written.
yeah. It is.
So, and that's a part of our gifts and our callings, is that's one of them. And then you're gonna be able to share that testimony and tell young men, young women, even like that went through what you're going through. You're gonna be able to prophesy, and you're gonna be able to tell them like you're gonna be the reason why they understand why that's happening right now one day because you went through it. Our journey
Right.
matters. It really
Yeah,
does.
yeah.
It
No,
really
I agree.
does.
I think it is good to share that with people. And this is my first time like talking about like on like online. So Yeah, it does feel good to like get it off my chest for sure, and not like hold all these things in, all these thoughts in my mind. It do feel good to like release that, talk about things. So yeah, I definitely appreciate you for reaching out to me and us like having this discussion. I definitely appreciate you for that.
Yeah, and
I think you might mute it.
whenever I end this, I'm gonna sit you, and we're gonna chat about something, after this. But I want to thank you for coming on the show, and I appreciate you for wanting to share your testimony because some people don't be ready, and it's the fact that people that we went to colleges, this they're gonna probably be tuning into this stuff, and especially because 9 out of 10, I'm probably gonna post. I'm probably gonna start posting your posts today because I'm gonna try to get this posted by Friday. But I
All right.
thank you for sure, for coming up here and being bold and courageous in your faith and coming up here and sharing your testimony with us.
Yeah.
Beyond Sunday podcast is super important, and I appreciate it, Jay.
Yeah. No problem.
Yeah. So, with
Uh,
that being said, thank y'all for tuning into this episode. There is more to come. There is more testimony to be shared. JJ is our first very episode, which is called Broken Made Beautiful, episode 1. So we gotta clap for JJ and share some love and throw some prayers to JJ's way in the comments. So we are checking out. I'll see y'all on the next episode. Thank y'all.
all right, y'all.